All right, so on the back of our unit circle paper, we're going to place our blue triangle and just trace it very lightly, so we don't want it to go through to the other side. But this is 45 degrees, 45 degrees, 90, right? The blue one? And what do we know the measurement of? We know one thing from our blue triangle. What do we know? The hypotenuse is how long? 1. So if the hypotenuse is 1, how do I find the leg on a 45, 45, 90? I'm going to divide by the square root of 2, right? So my leg is going to equal 1 divided by the square root of 2. Hypotenuse divided by the square root of 2. Is that simplified? How do I simplify it? I multiply by square root of 2 over square root of 2. That comes out to be square root of 2 over 2. Now again, number sense, let's think about how big is this? About how big is the square root of 2? 1.4. So if I take 1.4 and divide it by 2, what would I get? 0.7. Is 0.7 less than 1? And does that make sense because the legs are supposed to be shorter than the hypotenuse? Right? So this value right here, you can think of it as being close to 0.7. All right, so then let's go ahead and put those values on our blue triangle. So this side is square root of 2 over 2. And this other leg is also square root of 2 over 2. All right, now let's trace your orange triangle. This is a 30, 60, 90. And what measurement do we know here? What's 1? The hypotenuse. So let's mark that as 1 for the hypotenuse. So if the hypotenuse is 1, how much is the short leg? A half. To get from the short leg to the hypotenuse, you double. So to get from the hypotenuse to the short leg, you cut it in half. And then how much is the long leg going to be? I'm going to multiply by the square root of 3, so I'd have 1/2 multiplied by the square root of 3. That'd be the square root of 3 over 2. So this side is the square root of 3 over 2. Let's go ahead and label that on our orange triangle. All right. Take your yellow triangle like this. So make it look like just like the orange one. It's also a 30, 60, 90, yes? So this hypotenuse is also 1. This short leg is also 1/2. This long leg is also the square root of 3/2. But for when we put it on our circle, we're going to need to flip it over. But if I turn this guy on the back, isn't this still my hypotenuse? Still 1. This is still the short leg. It's 1/2. This is still the long leg. It's still square root of 3/2. All right, so now you're going to take your little triangles and you're going to just place them all here, and you're going to take a piece of Scotch tape and tape them down. So there's Scotch tape on this table by Carter, there's a roll here by Shane, and there's one at this table. So my other tables, if you'll just tape them on there. So your homework is to take this home and explain this to somebody, whoever will listen to you. Because when you explain it to somebody else, that's when it's going to make better sense to you.
That's technically Spanish too, I guess. Yeah.